Hello everyone, I'm Quirin Nita from the Information Systems Study Program class of 2022 from the Indonesian Technocrat University. Here I will explain about global digital governance. Please read the following explanation carefully. According to Rosenau, in Finkelstein 1995, global governance includes governance systems at all levels of human life, from families to international organizations, where the application of control has effects beyond national boundaries to achieve goals. In addition, Rosenau defines global governance as any attempt to control or influence other people, both at the country level and at other levels. Global governance itself is defined as government without government, which means there is no sovereign power to manage it. It is a joint effort to deal with problems such as disease, poverty, etc. Compared with global governance is a total of actions related to governance, rules, and mechanisms, as well as formal and informal that arise at various levels in the modern world. In international organizations, politics and global governance processes, Margaret P. Carnes, Karen Mingst, and Kendall W. Stiles, 3rd edition, International Organizations, elements include private governance, international regimes, ad hoc arrangements, global conferences, and international law. According to a broad definition, global governance is governance without the right to authority that permits crossing national boundaries. So, global governance seems to be understood as the international functions of what countries do nationally. Therefore, the term governance has a broader meaning than the term governance. Governance is defined by the Commission on Global Governance, 1995, as the totality of the ways individuals and institutions, both public and private, regulate public affairs. Because there are many different and conflicting interests, this is a long process. The aim is to facilitate and encourage collaborative work. However, this term is often used in situations where there is no government at all or a full and reliable government. The concept of global governance includes discussions about the UN, WTO, IMF, ILO, BI, and European Union, G20, Geneva Conventions, and other international organizations. States no longer play a significant role in global governance. Global digital governance includes the practices, rules, and policies that govern the management and use of technological information throughout the world. It includes structures, rules, and principles that help companies and governments operate morally and efficiently in the digital age. Some of the main components of global digital management are as follows. Policies and laws. Create policies and laws that support the safe, fair, and moral use of technology globally. Overcome legal problems that arise because digital activities are cross-border. Interoperability and standards. Oversee and drive international standards to ensure that systems and applications function well throughout the world. Provides organizations with standards for managing data, protecting information, and privacy. Digital morality. Responsible and ethical use of technology must be guaranteed. Addressing issues such as cybersecurity, privacy, and fairness when using technology. Stakeholder roles. Involve the private sector, government and civil society in the decision-making process on digitalization. To increase transparency and accountability in the decision-making process. Capacity building and training. To ensure that people and organizations have the skills necessary to manage technology well, there needs to be training and capacity development programs. Computer security. Develop and implement cybersecurity policies to protect critical infrastructure and sensitive data. Together around the world to tackle cyber threats. Empowerment through technology. Promote digital inclusion and empower people to use technology to increase prosperity and opportunity. Evaluation and measurement. Develop metrics and performance indicators to measure how effective and impactful digital governance programs are. Global digital governance is facilitated by organizations such as the United Nations, UN, and other international institutions. Global digital governance involves international cooperation, discussion, and knowledge exchange to address challenges and ensure technological advantages worldwide. Global digital governance has been rising in response to a dual process of globalization and digitalization. Serving the innovation and application of digital technologies, global digital governance requires global cooperation to achieve economic benefits and cope with digital transformation challenges, covering issues such as the Internet, digital tax, and transborder data flow. The extant literature fails to answer why these challenges have been getting intense in recent decades and why the global governance responses to them may vary in different ways. This study argues that the transformation from protective immunity of digital platforms to techlash against big tech triggered the rapid development of global digital governance. Following the paradigm shift argument, the paper further proposes an integrated framework to analyze the characteristics of the new model to explain the heterogeneity across global digital governance issues. The major constituent elements of this framework include the nature of the global commons, comedy or tragedy, global power structure, decentralized or centralized, and the governance regime, technocracy or democracy. This study applies the framework to analyze 3 cases of global digital governance issues and demonstrates its analytical power. Academic studies of global governance have attracted attention in recent years as most studies suggest that we have entered a new era in which ideas about globalization have changed. Barnett et al., 2021. According to international political economic theory, global governance is conventionally understood as the establishment of formal institutions by countries to deal with problems spanning geographic areas. Kennedy 2009, Avant et al. 2010, Pegram and Cueto 2015. 3 trends are suggested to shift perspectives on global governance as globalization deepens. On the one hand, the goal of global digital governance is to achieve scale influence in international markets by creating collaboration or integration at the institutional or technical level. Clayson 2020, Whitford and Anderson 2020. For example, global Internet governance aims to standardize the technical protocols of countries as the value of the Internet increases exponentially. On the other hand, global digital governance aims to regulate the behavior of various stakeholders to respond to the risks of digital transformation governance in various fields. Liu et al. 2013, Sturman and Lachad 2022. One important and urgent threat is the spread of fake news, the irresponsible development and application of artificial intelligence, the shaking of employment structures, and the widespread tax raids on transnational digital platforms. In the existing literature, there are in-depth case studies of specific issues related to global digital governance. However, few studies have been able to look at these cases from a holistic point of view, leaving several important questions unanswered, 2 of which are discussed in this paper. On the one hand, is there a reason why global digital governance has become stronger in recent years than before? Although these issues have been evolving for many years, most of them have become hot subjects and major concerns in the field of domestic and global governance in recent years. The discovery and commercialization of the Internet initiated a global digital transformation. While it is clear that the adoption of digital technologies will pose governance challenges today, state intervention may also pose these challenges, as most stakeholders will initially resist digital technologies. The regulatory accountability of digital platforms is strengthened by recent global trends. To find the reasons why global digital governance has become stronger in recent years than ever before, we must look at the history of digital development and evolution. Sibua Istula, Tada Kalola Digital Global, Mengaku Pada Peraturan, Organisasi, Dan Institusi yang Mengatur dan Penggunaan Teknologi Digital dan Internet. Istula ini mengikup konsekuensi commercial dan politik jangka panjang dari tata kelola digital, yang menyebabkan persaingan antara pemerintahan demokratis dan non-liberal untuk mempermajukan ekonomi digital. Dengan demikian, sistem tata kelola digital global akan memberikan kontribusi terbesar terhadap potensi penciptaan nilai dan efisiensi industri digital. Namun, tren geopolitik saat ini, perbedaan prioritas dan nilai di antara negara-negara, misalnya keamanan, dan keinginan untuk melakukan kontrol lokal adalah semua faktor yang menghalangi penyelesaian tata kelola digital global.